Now, I think it's pretty safe to say that by far one of the most mysterious characters within the Star Wars sequel trilogy has got to be the character of Rey, portrayed by Daisy Ridley, that will be further explored in Star Wars Episode 9 by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one thing that a lot of people are really curious about has all to do with Rey's lineage, exactly who she really is, and where she comes from. But more importantly here, Rey's parents, and specifically Rey's father. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the set leaks and one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very exciting that has all to do with Rey's father's identity in Star Wars Episode 9. Now, specifically, it's described that one of the sequences that were shot during the month of October included Daisy Ridley over at Cardington on set, where it's described that the set was said to have tons of sand poured onto the ground to emulate a desert world. It said that Daisy Ridley was standing in front of a large structure that is said to be the home of her father. Additionally, it said that a costume design for the scene that was used by an unnamed actor playing Rey's father for a flashback was dubbed as Vidar Mel Drex's cloak. Another sequence that was filmed included the unnamed actor in Vidar's cloak sitting in front of Rey, where the scene was described as Vidar Drex's revelation to Rey. The costume design is said to be very similar to Lorsan Tekka's from The Force Awakens, however with white sleeves and a metal necklace around his neck. So I want to go over the identity of Rey's father, the full name here, the first, middle, and last name of the character costume design that was used on set for this particular sequence. So first things first, I want to go over his first name. We've been hearing about this a couple of times. I would say these past 4 weeks, give or take, about him being called Vidar, where the middle name is Mel, M-E-H-L, and the last name now is Drex, D-R-E-X. So what's really interesting is that the entire name of Rey's father being spelt, of course, Vidar, V-I-D-A-R, Mel, and Drex. So what's really interesting about this whole entire sequence is that it was shot during the month of October, where Daisy Ridley was actually seen on set on top of a lot of sand that this whole entire set was actually used to emulate a desert world in Episode 9, where she's standing in front of a large structure that is said to be the home of her own father. Now, like I say, guys, I still have this gut feeling, and I don't know why. I have this gut feeling that Rey's parents are not actually her real parents, quote-unquote. I feel like that maybe that they are her step-parents, you know, in this particular sequence, maybe it's Rey's stepfather. That's the vibe that I'm getting for Star Wars. I don't know why, but looking past Episode 9 here, we do know that J.J. Abrams is going to use this movie as a way to connect it to the new Star Wars trilogy, so who knows exactly, you know, what he will be doing in the film. And what's really interesting is that you guys may recall that MTV, you know, they actually asked Rian Johnson on what he would think, you know, or would he really care if J.J. Abrams retconned Rey's parents in Star Wars Episode 9. And Rian Johnson, you know, flat out said that he just doesn't care. You know, it's not a problem to him. So, J.J. Abrams doing what he has to do in Star Wars Episode 9, specifically for Rey's parents, I think is really something that's going to stand out in the sequel trilogy. We do know that originally J.J. Abrams wanted to do something very special for Rey's lineage. He wanted to really make her a very important character in the sequel trilogy that would actually stand out to a lot of hardcore fans around the world. And with that being said, you know, Rey's father's identity here being, of course, Vidar Mel Drex. Very interesting name. I don't think we've heard of a name like that before in the Star Wars universe, you know, in Legends or even in the canon universe, right? That's the thing here, is that we do know that Disney and Lucasfilm, they're trying to really create a new Star Wars universe. And we do know that after Episode 9, they are going to take Star Wars in a totally different direction with the new Star Wars trilogy, which again, I think points to the Old Republic even all the more so. So the other part that I do want to go over that really does, you know, speak volumes to me is how one of the scenes that were filmed between both Daisy Ridley and the unnamed actor playing, of course, Vidar Mel Drex, is that it's actually described that Vidar Drex's revelation to Rey, that's the sequence title of this actual scene that will be used at some point in time in the second act of the movie. Now, like I say, we have a lot of revelations coming our way in this movie. We have a lot of twists and turns and surprises that are really going to make us view both The Last Jedi and The Force Awakens in a different way. Is that a big risk by Disney, Lucasfilm, JJ, and crew? That's a huge question open on the table for discussion. Like I say, it's all a matter of how it's written and how it's executed on the big screen. And as long as they can really get that down to a T, I think that a lot of people are really going to enjoy these big twists and revelations and reveals in this movie. So Rey's father, guys, I'm very interested. We do know that apparently he's actually connected with the Church of the Force on the planet Jakku or some desert world in this film. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again.